Good morning from just outside of Kingman, Arizona. Today, my brother Patrick and I are going to be hiking another Arizona 2,000 foot prominence peak. This one is Peacock Peak. It's east of town, north of the Hualapai Mountains. So that's Peacock Peak, or at least a sub-peak. The actual true summit is a little bit beyond that point you're seeing in the middle. We have a little bit more dirt road hiking to do, and then it'll be an off-trail route up pretty much, I guess, the main west ridge up to the summit. Patrick was kind enough to drive us today in his car, which is a Honda CR-V, but my car would have made it to where we parked pretty much, or at least a little bit below that. There just weren't too many good parking options right at the end of Jan Road. We thought about parking a little bit lower, but we just didn't want to leave the car out in the open. So we came up just a little ways, found a good parking place, and we'll make the remainder of do the remainder of the road on foot. So this is an easily accessible peak with two-wheel drive. We're not going to be doing much extra distance. All right, I think this is where we turn left here, and then that'll lead up to a parking place and the end of the road. Actually, we may be in the right spot. I think we are. We thought we were wrong, but this looks like the correct route. So we'll just get up to the ridge and then take that straight up. There's somewhat of a path here. Probably a combination of animals and people. A lot of cow evidence, and we've seen a bunch already. Yeah, we're just gonna basically follow this as long as it goes and just head up the ridge. I think this peak is pretty self-explanatory. So it's about 30 degrees. This is probably our coldest peak in a while. Well, we don't have too much further to go. It's looking pretty close. And we're taking a little break, and then we'll make one final push out to the false summit and then onto the true summit. Cool, we made it. Summit of Peacock Peak. So this is looking more towards the south at the Hualapai Mountains and Hualapai Peak. I think it's the one right in the center. And then Kingman's over here. Here's Mount Tipton. And then our last summit in the area just 4 days ago, is Duncan Benchmark, the Grand Wash Cliffs out there. I'm seeing a higher peak way out in the distance. I don't know if it's Humphreys Peak and the San Francisco Peaks. It might be it. And then this one over here is Mohan Peak. Looks pretty snow covered too. That's one of the prominence peaks as well. We haven't done that one yet. So you top out over there and then just walk the remainder of the ridge up to here, which isn't too far at all. It's pretty steep coming up to there, but overall not that steep. I mean, it's a pretty good slope. It doesn't seem like we gained as much as we did. It's a little bit deceptive. Well, if it wasn't for Patrick, we may not be here today. I was thinking maybe we'd go do something in the south because we weren't sure of the snow depth up here, but there's pretty much nothing. Just have to be careful on the rocks, obviously. So thanks for the suggestion, Patrick.
You're welcome.
Yeah, another cool summit. This is a good one. Short, easy, quick, prominence peak. Not too far from civilization. And you can make it in 2-wheel drive to, you know, pretty close. You can make it a little further with 4-wheel drive, but no big deal either way, which is really nice. That's always a bonus for us, for me especially. And great views, fun hike, fun climb. Yeah, really cool peak. I'm sure that people in the Kingman area probably do this peak even if they aren't into maybe, you know, doing all the Arizona prominence peaks. I mean, that's the main draw of it, but I'm sure it sees some traffic from the, you know, local people as well. We'll check out the summit register here pretty soon. Get some more views and then start back down. Tipton was like 70 something. It was 72, really? Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, 88's. I think that this is probably the furthest back I've seen.
Yeah, there's some homes not too far down here at the base of this on the east side. We came from the west. Summit fever continues as we don't want to leave the summit. We'll have to cure ourselves pretty soon and get back. There's the end of the road right down there. So we just have a little off trail section and then the road walk back to the car, which is not too far from here. And here's one more look back up at the sub peak of Peacock Peak. So the steepest slope up there doesn't really have much of a trail. At least we didn't find one. But lower down, we've been following Cal Pass / Use Trail, and they've worked out pretty well. There's this left turn here, but you go straight towards the peak, and then you're gonna bear left in a couple places, and that'll take you to the parking spot. So what did you think of Peacock?
It was a nice one. Probably like the easiest prominence peak we've done in terms of like not having to drive up to it, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah, honestly, I can't really think of anything else, but I feel like this was the easiest. Yeah, it's a nice simple peak to do, honestly.
Exactly. All right, Patrick and I are all finished up with Peacock Peak. It was 4¼ miles round trip, 3 hours and 10 minutes. We got up in 1 hour and 25, down in 107. Stayed up there for about 35 minutes or so, and I think we'll get about 2,000 feet of elevation gain, I'm sure, because we did a little bit of uphill on the way back. And the most important thing, it's another one of the Arizona 2,000 foot prominence peaks completed. It's number 59 for me and 35 for Patrick, I think. So we're getting closer, little by little. All right, thanks for watching. Have a good day. See you on the next hike.